Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Shelter. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, which is $5 a month. So, and last Let's Play, we finished version 0.44, which now I'm recording 0.55 a couple of days later because, better do it now and then wait a monthish until it becomes public. So, yeah, I guess what actually happened on the last thing was that we had cut the rat guy off away from the leash, the rope thingy, and he fell into the moat, and it was us, little Aeon versus Gunter, trying to defy fate and all that stuff, and did about as well as one could do when a child who has no sense of combat and is also a child faces a full-grown man who has years of experience in combat. But then the rat guy came back because I am Zarek, the Forsaken Shadow of Theros Mossbane, and I wish to kidnap your king. Who will? He's that face. One, two. 1, 2. Okay, is this recording yet? The symbol is. Oh, yeah, this seems okay. Dog damn it. Oh, yeah, this is the recording which would do the fires ablaze, but then everything goes to shite. Oh, right. Dog damn it indeed. Oh no, is it already time? No, wait. Is it? Also, we might just want to save and then exit out and then exit back in. Because I think we might have hacked it up. Okay, how about we do this? Turn that off, do that, and then reopen it. There was a little funky wonky stuff because I was loading the most recent save, and then the one before that, and the one before that, because the things that tend to happen with visual novels and trying to load between things. Okay, I guess we're just walking now. Oh, that's not forever. No way. Is it? No, I want to hear what happened next. Woo, everyone. Luke here. In exactly one. Oh, Burry and Max stare at the scare with both excitement and confusion. I just sit down in the water, simply waiting for the recording to pass. This is so embarrassing. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Where's the explosion? There should be an earth-shattering kaboom. Once the countdown finishes, nothing happens. I must have set the whole uncropped recording to my voice and the 1 hour left timer mark, instead of using the relevant part. It's not a big deal. I'm sure the dogs outside will realize it's just a mistake. However, if I made an error like that, what if I made more in the actual automation of the turret shot? Yep. Or someone sabotaged it. I still have an hour. I could make it back to the control tower if I wanted. As good as everything's been, it's not worth risking the safety of everyone's shelter. If I really made a mistake, if we were to go through another blackout, then... It's okay. You did it right. Huh? The turret. It will shoot. You don't have to worry about that. I wonder if he knows something or if he doesn't know something. There's two kind of people that you could think of doing it, or I guess you could think three. One is Elon. Like, his knife was there in another route, but, it seems too obvious kind of thing. I would think, like, the guy that's missing a tooth, I can't remember his name, the asshole, but I don't know. But would there be a third party involved? How do you know? Jeez, Luke, what was that? Did something go wrong with the turret? We should go check. Or should we go check? Which does make me kind of wonder the whole, whether or not there's like this whole timeline thing going on, you know? No, I just put the wrong audio recording for it. It was supposed to play the 1 hour before Skies Blaze part only. Ignore that, please. I'm sorry, everyone. Please, Halon, continue their story. And please, try and finish it before Skies Ablaze. I'll not be able to sleep all night if you do not learn how it all ended. Well, I'm here, right? Come on, man. Don't spoil the ending. Just tell us the rest of the story. Well, you see, the story continued by me dying. A smirk returns to Alon's muzzle. He clearly enjoys the attention. And the teasing. He lets the silence linger for a few more seconds, while slowly letting his expression go back to its neutral state. An emotionless face that would spoil not even a single secret of things to come. Sure. Aw, little Aeon. Or Elon. Gunner's whiskers twitched at Zarek, the rat's proclamation. There was so much sudden rage building in his glare. I clearly saw the whites around his golden eyes. He stared at the rat with intensity that would almost crack the glass behind us. Then, as the tension between them reached a peak, he, slowly, in a long controlled breath, with a short snarl. Gunner already regained his grip on his nerves and whispered something under his breath. In response to words too quiet for me to hear, a cacophony of heavily armored steps echoed through the stairs leading to the floor. The wolf general's eyes focused on the rat, with only calmness fully returned to his eyes, with cold calmness. Kidnap my king, huh? Do you know? Or do you now? I can read. I tried my best to get up, but despite the growing relief from the healing glyph, it was still so much pain I could barely move a muscle. A couple of dozen soldiers rushed into the room. They were shocked to see me all beaten up on the floor, with the rat intruder standing over me. Gunner, still a few good leaps of distance away from us, pointing the tip of his sword at him. Zurich only gave a quick glance at the window behind us. The first archers were already gathered behind the castle's moat, cutting our only feasible route of escape off. You were supposed to run away. Supposed to? Is that what your charlatan prophet master told you? But you're not in a blaze, so how? Just as a flash of realization glimmered through his eyes, he put his hand on a spot of his coat where he had a sudden crystal dagger. Both he and I understood. The rat must have seen or sensed me fighting for my principles so stubbornly I reached a blaze. He saw that I meant what I said. With that, the expression of my upheld honor became a pebble on the observer's path. A pebble that, for better or for worse, pushed Eric, the rat, astray from his predicted flow. You came back for me because you like me. The rat glanced down at me, his eyebrow twitching, and he oddly slapped me over my snout with the tip of his tail, making the whole group of soldiers in the room yelp for a second, from secondhand pain. Ow! No! Why? You know why? The things you said to me up here? How dare you speak to me like that? Who do you think you are to speak about my people like you know us, like you know me? How dare you, you shitty, foul-mouthed brat? How dare you be so fucking spot on about everything? You bastard! You hurt the king! I'll rip out your innards through your crooked nose, you foul piece of rodent trash! I'm gonna kill you, cut you open, and put your guts in a bowl. I always find that insult or threat to be a bit weird. General, please, permission to strike now. Down. What now? What now, food thief? Any ace up your sleeve? You rats enjoy underhanded tactics, don't you? As Gunnar focused on keeping Zarek's attention, I noticed two presences skulking towards us by the darkest edges of the room. Even outside, multiple other dogs approached us slowly over the wall, closing in to completely surround us. Even without connecting in full pack mentality, Gunnar had enough influence over his soldiers to coordinate them without words. I tried to shake the rat's tail to warn him, but he just swatted my hand away, glancing at the moon reflected through the broken, strained glass. He took another deep breath of a cigarette smoke. It's really not a bad night to die, huh? This is not up for you to decide anymore. But yes, you shall keep remembering this night over the countless ones to come, wishing it were indeed the last. In your dungeons. For as long as it takes for our scholars to completely unravel every fold of your entire soul and body to us, you should not leave these walls in life or death. Rodent magic arts user. Multiple shadows stood at the ready behind the side marble columns. Same about the presence on the wall outside. I whispered to the rat, but he ignored me once again, taking the final drag of a cigarette. The orange spark glowed between his fingers, like a star stolen from the sky. The stalking shadows grew just a bit closer, about to jump at their general's notice. Suddenly, the rat flicked the remainder of his lit cigarette in the gunner's direction. The silent, suffocating tension finally burst with motion, noise, and light. As the silent hunters in the shadows leaped out at us from behind the obscured columns, the rat raised his leg, with sparks of magic crackling under his bare feet. The guards, by Gunner's sides, rushed at us, head-on with wide arcs, and General's relic sword glowed with pure, unrestrained power, ready to finally slash true. I shouted my companion's name in panic, seeing Gunner wind up for a slash of magic at him. You want to unravel everything I'm hiding, huh? How about I do just that for you? Just as General commanded to slash, conjuring a perfectly angled slash at his torso, the rat stomped on the floor, flickering the crack-like patterns in the marble with his own magic. In an instant, I felt a similar feeling of the unraveling holding seal, except it opened everywhere, all over the room. With all the restraints broken, every single item their own thief had hoarded through his life suddenly spilled through the myriad of deliberately chosen points. Various vials and wrappings popped up into the air, tossed from the floor and columns. The rushing soldiers tripped and slipped over the diaries and wine conjured under their feet. And the magic slash of Gunner's blade shredded through barrels and bags of dozens of different powders, gases, and liquids. The bright lit butt of the cigarette finally hit the floor, licking the dark gray cloud of released dust with the first spark. I closed my eyes and covered my nose right as I saw the sparks spraying across the whole room. I yelped at the sound of magic slash cutting deep through the stone at my side and at the glass behind me, quickly followed by explosions, bursts of flames, swearing and growling. Suddenly, someone jerked my leg, pulling me off the healing glyph. I tried to call for help, but merely taking my hands off my nose made me lose my breath. I was being taken away across the room, tossed around like a rag doll, and finally, with my hands forcefully pulled off my face, someone pushed me against the cold stone and tightly bound me with ropes, before pushing something into my hands. A book in a hardcover. As I opened my eyes, the book I gave the rat was back in my hands. Zarek himself was right there too, right in front of me. Holding onto the rope he just bound me with, wrapped around one of the columns. High up under the cover of the dark ceiling, his tail coiled around the dark marble, conjuring a new healing glyph for my new hiding spot. He didn't say anything to me. Once both the glyph and I were securely set in place, he let go of the rope and put one of his slender, clawed fingers to his lips, giving me a wink. As he fell back into the pack of stumbling wolves and dogs, drowned in the black, chaotic mass of the clouds, flames, and sparks. I noticed a vague sparkle of crystal dust flickering in the moonlight for just the briefest moment, refracting the hues of various colors, purple and orange. I struggled to make out which ones of the shadow were the soldiers and which was of the rat. They all stumbled blindly, and the formation completely broken. Even Gunnar, summoning the force of the Noonlight Oath, could only clear up the air around him for short moments before the still smoldering materials littering the floor reclaimed the space around him like an unstoppable flood of darkness. During one of those brief moments of clarity, he howled, and the soldiers climbed the wall outside, entered, acting as his eyes in perfectly indicated and coordinated state of pack mentality. With his own eyes closed, he dashed straight at the dimming magic glow of the rast's first healing glyph. He leaped through the smoke, clearing his way with the constant flow of magic from the sword. He reached out to grab at the short shadow hunched over the glyph. Yet his gloved fingers tightened not over me, but the laden fabric of the bag of black powder spilling from multiple cuts. The moment he realized that, the short blade flew from the side and sank all the way to the hilt into the bag. With a short piece of cloth attached to the hilt, drenched in burning oil. But the rat underestimated the wolf's instincts and reflexes. Without even an instance of hesitation, Gunnar jerked the blade out of the fabric and kicked the bag away, before the flaming cloth could even come in contact with the black powder. With the swift swish of his blade, the path of clarity emerged through the middle of the smoke, revealing the position of the crouching rats. As the soldiers rushed at the rodent rogue, Gunnar's eyes darted all around, looking for me. I kept my mind closed tight from his empathy, not epiphany. Where's the king? I could only see for a short flash of the rat's teeth as the black veil slammed to spot once again, and surrounding the soldiers jumped at him just a moment too late. The blind chase continued, with the royal guards and soldiers constantly outmaneuvered by the elusive rats. It looked like the most chaotic game of tag than a battle, with the rodent staying out of reach purely thanks to the very specific conditions he brought onto the battlefield with literally his whole collection of hoarded tools. I didn't know what his plan could be, but everyone in the room understood it wasn't a fight he could win. All he was doing was avoiding to get caught, so buying time. But for what? Gunnar growled with fury and desperation, not knowing what had happened to me. Yet, even then, always cold and calculating, he didn't resign to standing idly and letting the enemy keep the charge. With a loud stomp, he swung his magic sword in a wide arc, draining so much of concentrated moonlight that it momentarily drowned the whole room in pitch black night. The tip of the blade scratched through the floor, and with a loud shout, Gunnar released a wave of magic at the stained glass behind him, shattering the national treasure to bits, pouring both moonlight and torrents of cold wind into the room. Half a dozen soldiers guarded the wide, crumbling gash in the glass as Gunnar attempted and pulls the blade's magic to build up the pressure difference to push the smoke out. The horizon glowed in the faint purple hue of an approaching dawn, far in the distance outside. Seeing how quickly the air in the room cleared up, I expected the rat to be already hidden somewhere else in the shadows, maybe run to me. And yet, he did not escape. I was able to see him with more and more clarity as he dodged the pack of guards, seemingly without running out of breath, yet still slowly being driven to the corner by their canine pack tactics. Finally, there was nowhere else to run. With his back pressed against the wall, he watched in cold silence as General Gunner approached him between his soldiers, pointing the glowing sword at the rat's throat. "Where's your weapon? Don't tell me you actually came here with just that one throwing knife. I promise I wouldn't kill any dogs." "Ha, noble. I'm not a dog, though. If not for us, then maybe you should have kept one ready for yourself as a way out. You know what's going to happen to you now, right? You ran away from us for months. How does it feel to be finally cornered, you dirty rat?" "Where is he? Speak." "You're not going to make it easy on yourself, are you? I don't have time for this. Wake up and mobilize every single sword in the Crimson Royal Grove. Search through the castle, the city, and the outskirts. Go to the registry and obtain every registered rodent in the grove, regardless of status or immunities. Permission to torture and kill to aid in the investigation until someone talks. I can't do that. The king is missing. Of course I can. I must. Hold him." 4 of the soldiers moved forward and pushed Eric to the floor before Gunner finally finished speaking out his orders. Boy, things are looking dire. I knew the words were redundant, as he could clearly instruct them without thoughts alone. But he wasn't really speaking to them. He was speaking for the sake of the rat. Knowing the gravity of his actions and every detail of what was yet to come, if he doesn't comply, added to the intimidation. As Zarek struggled beneath the heavily armed soldiers, with his much smaller and frailer body pinned to the floor, Gunner placed his heavy soiled boot over the tip of the rodent's tail. He waited for a few seconds, staring him down in silence. Then, a sharp, weak crack pierced through the air, followed by Zarek's muffled grunt and kicking of his legs, as his tail flailed like a whip. My heart broke, listening to the pain-filled gasp for air. "I like that magic glyph you made with your tail." As Gunner's ironclad foot moved higher up the tail, Zarek tried desperately to whip it away, but it took only a few light stomps before the wolf trapped it to the floor once more. He rubbed the pink flesh with slow movements of his armored foot, feeling the thicker part of the tail's bones, close to the middle. "Tell me, will it still work if you can't make a proper circle?" "Stop being so dramatic, you hypocrite. This is what's going to befall so many of your brethren in the Crimson Royal Grove if you don't speak. Why would you want to inflict such pain on your own kin? Either you or someone you know will crack. Why not spare them the pain?" Why? Why would you go all out? Why would you, out of all people, want to stop? When you're clearly enjoying yourself so much, you sick fucking degenerate. Yes, keep yapping. See what that brings you. Well, I can already tell what it brings you. A big fucking boner. Oh my, so vulgar, so defiant. You think you're so strong and unique by masking your fear with insults, but believe me, I deal with one just like you pretty much every week. It may take more or less time, but it always ends the same way. Always. I bet. But there's no way you're not enjoying while it lasts. This control. What kind of fucked up life does one have to go through to end up as a sadistic piece of shit like you? Life didn't go for you the way you thought it would, did it? You entrusted in all of your heart, purity, and innocence to people who didn't think of you as important as you thought of them. Trust and honor, two sides of the same coin, both just as unrecoverable. You had control over the decisions of the people who chose to break your trust. So, you claw for control wherever else you can. The weak and helpless are the best for that. Makes you feel strong for a moment. You're wasting your breath and wearing down my patience with empty insults. If the next word spooned from your dirty mouth isn't the location of the king, I'll start chopping you bit by bit. And let me assure you, we got some brilliant new Solarian healers from these Azure Lakes court recently. They'll reattach whatever bits we bring them in a bag. Your tail, your fingers and toes, your balls and a woo, just so we can shred, cut off, and reattach again. I don't know about the eye. That may take longer, so you should think carefully. You only have one, after all. I heard that not being able to see makes the magnitudes worse. Actually, how about we start with it? You don't need to be able to see to confess. So, you're dealing with lizards now. Is this what your proud canine pack has become? We are fine with other races, as long as that makes the pack stronger. Who knows? Maybe we can do something good for the roan kind in the grove too. If only you're willing to talk and cooperate. Ha! Bullshit. I've lived with you much long enough to know that's not how your heart works, really. You live for the pack, yes, but there is no unity in a person's pack without an alpha in the center of it. You have lots of friends with you right now, true. And yet, I see neither Dune Moon nor any of your masters by your side. Even your dear king abandoned you. Tell me, how does it feel to always end up as the one stray, you pathetic dog? I nearly yelped. With a sharp snarl, Gunnar stomped at the already broken midsection of Zarek's tail and twisted his boot over and over, grinding the crushed bones to gravel under the skin, making it swell purple. And Zerk? He laughed through the pain, as if he took triumph in anchoring Gunnar. You're not taking my king away from me. Yes. Which one is it? From your pack or from you? Don't talk like you know anything about us. I've cared for him for his whole life. I know who he is and who we are to each other. Even if he ends up hating me after tonight, it matters not, so long as he's here, where he's supposed to be. Even if a rift grows between us, we will forever be connected in the unity of the duty that is grander than any of us. That bond is unbreakable. Last chance. You won't enjoy what comes next. Your king is such an insufferable bloody brat. Stupid, selfish, stubborn, reckless, ignorant. I've known him for only a couple of hours, and he drove me mad more times than I can count. But I know it's not his fault. I know that, despite your best efforts to spoil him fucking rotten, he's still a good kid underneath. I don't think he hates you, but he can't stay with you either. You're not good for him. So, if you care about him, get a fucking life, pathetic clingy bitch, because he already did. And you have no place in it. Gunnar nodded, slowly, then took a deep breath, and kicked the rodent's broken tail up, exposing the whole length before grabbing the handle of his sword with both hands. With his two yellow eyes locked on the pink, fleshy tip, he... No! Stop! Your Majesty. What? Where? That's enough. Enough. Thank goodness you're safe. I'm so glad. So glad. Everything's under control, Your Majesty. Let's free you from those binds, and finally put an end to this night of madness. But the General! What? All of our eyes are focused on the guards and soldiers that were holding Zurk just a moment ago. Except now, they were holding nothing but his cloak. The rat himself is nowhere to be seen. I think that this might be a good time to call it because I try to do things where it's like, there's a scene change, da da da. I also am doing the thing where it's like, let us, you know, be naughty so that you will be like, what happened? They were doing the thing and now they aren't. Hey, yeah, that's gonna be the end of this Let's Play. So, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please comment, guys. I like comments, if you like, dislike. Tips, tricks, otherwise, if you like my YouTube and would like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out the latest epic grow. Please remember to animals have control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's available free on itch.io. And until next time, on the Let's Play, me, GamerWolfSix of Shelter. Oh, and if you want to play this game, sorry, I press a button in my brain and does the thing. This game is free on itch.io, but if you want the most up-to-date version, Patreon, where it's $5 a month. I hate how I do that sometimes, where I press the button, and all of a sudden my mind's just like, no, I'm not thinking of anything. Anyways, thanks and see ya.